Okay, so I guess we all know what's gonna happen today. First impressions video of the Nokia 8. I got it about 5 hours ago and definitely spent most of these 5 hours with this phone. But unlike usually, this first impressions video actually will stay quite short, which for once is a good thing, because there is so much to talk about this phone. There are so many nice things that I wanna mention, but I wanna also leave these for the full review and just give you a glimpse of what you can expect there right now. First of all, the design. I like it a lot. The build quality is super sturdy, the buttons have a nice meaty click, definitely great overall experience, it feels super solid, nice curves, great in-hand feel, isn't too big, but that's already the first thing that I want to get into. I think it could be a little bit more compact, because with 5.3 inches compared here with a 5.15 inch, you can see it is significantly wider and especially taller. Okay, of course, bigger screen size and so on, but still, if you especially look at those side bezels, I think those definitely could have been smaller. But all that aside, and the quite big bezel at the top and the bottom, I gotta say it feels so nice in the hand, so round, and especially here with this matte version, it doesn't attract a lot of fingerprints, and it stays actually quite grippy. The front is also flat with a nice transition to the sides, very nicely smoothed off, really great in and feel. I like it a lot. The one thing that is a little bit weird are the buttons, because as you can see here, they are actually on the curve, as you can see here, and not flat. And what happens a lot of times, I press the frame instead of the buttons, or I press and then it kind of actually, as you can maybe hear, locks up. So you have to kind of press towards the back, which is something you will have to get used to. Fingerprint reader is fine, it's not the fastest one out there, and it's a little bit, yeah, it vibrates, which is something that I don't like so much, but the rest, super nice. Just real quick, the display, superb. Absolutely beautiful display, super sharp IPS, of course, not AMOLED as I said in my rambling. Absolutely love this display. Great calibration. It can't be adjusted or something like that, but it is spot on as it is. The speaker, yes, not the best quality, loud enough. It will get the job done. Headphone jack seems about average, I would say. Performance, since it's running pretty much stock Android with an 835, it's absolutely top notch. Super nice because bloat free, super optimized. They did a great job here. So this is pretty much on par with the best phones out there. So flagship level, top 5 or so. It's maybe not the crazy snappiest one, but definitely super smooth, and the overall experience so far is top notch. I cannot really judge the battery life yet. That is pretty much the only thing for right now that I can't talk so much about. Software, I don't have to tell anything, because stock Android, you will get fast updates. It will be one of the first phones with Oreo. Right now it's still running 7.1.1. Camera, I have not really tested it yet, but we can quickly check the software UI. So we can see that, of course, we have here the flash, HDR mode and so on, timer. You can, of course, switch the modes. We have this Bofi mode. I'm not quite sure what I should think of it. Of course, here you can also have the other modes, like, for example, beauty mode, panorama, photo, live bokeh, manual. Manual actually doesn't seem to be all that powerful, but I guess it should get the job done. Of course, we also have 4K, not just on the back, but also on the front. So as you can see, clean, minimal UI. It definitely comes down to how good the quality actually is. So far, I guess from what I've seen on first pictures, it looks really good, but we'll have to see about that. What is actually quite nice, what I did not expect, is the price, because when I ordered it was still 579 euros, but it's already down to about 445, so 550. And I guess quite soon this could be around 500 euros. And if I just see the overall specs and my experience after a few hours, I have to say this could be actually the best phone so far, and it will actually top even the HTC U11, which was so far my most complete phone on a flagship level, even though it wasn't my first choice. This could be, because it's noticeably smaller, which I just prefer. It lies way nicer in the hand. The battery, if optimized just as good as on the HTC U11, since it is a little bit, even though just 90 amps bigger, could be even better, but I'm not quite so sure about it. It really comes down to the mobile data reception and so on. And other than that, the display, I think, is at least on par on the HTC 11, if not even better. Speaker, of course, is not as good. Performance is pretty much on par. Battery life is something that I'm interested. Stock Android is cool. For me, a little bit limited, I gotta say, but most people will enjoy this a lot, and it gets the job done. Definitely, I won't complain about that. And it really comes down to if the camera really can deliver as much as anyone would expect from a Zeiss Optics camera. But definitely, if it is anywhere like what the Lumia 950 was for 550 with these specs and this build quality, this design, even though yes, not so much bezel-less anymore, which I think some people have an issue with, some people don't care at all. I'm somewhere in between. I like it a little bit smaller, but I don't need bezel-less devices. But first impressions, extremely positive, and no matter what will happen during this review, I don't think much will change, but that's it for today. Okay, until next time, bye.